It's easy to say that this has been a year of ups and downs. Mostly downs in the real world, but hey, in the anime sphere of things, everything's been looking up. Case in point, smash hits that we've all had the pleasure of seeing, as well as the continued rise of anime's popularity. Will fall 2022 be able to maintain the momentum that spring and presumably summer will leave us with? That is what we're talking about today. And in case you're wondering what kind of shows to pick up for the last quarter of the year, perhaps this list can help you make your choice. Here are what I think are the top 10 most anticipated titles this fall 2022. Starting out this list is Reincarnated as a Sword.
私は力が欲しい。
We've seen people reincarnated as all sorts of things in the world of anime, but how about a sword for a change of pace? This is certainly treading some new horizons for the isekai genre, and it does actually lead to some interesting results. Our protagonist finds himself waking in the middle of a forest of beasts, and he encounters the cat girl Fran, saving her in the process. Bearing a heavy past of persecution, Fran longs for freedom and revenge, and this encounter with a sword turns out to be the major turning point in her life. With a new partner in hand, she embarks on a journey of redemption. The enemies are many, but the two will also need to learn and accept each other to survive in their perilous journey. How will this formidable team of Fran and the newly christened Shisho fare against the challenges in the adventure ahead? Let's join the strongest duo's adventures this October 2022. Yurose Yatsura gives us a blast from the past in the 9th slot.
よろしくなーり。
こんな生活もう嫌じゃ
うちここでくださっちゃ。
Here's an old school show that I didn't expect to get a remake. Rumiko Takahashi's first manga gets the remake treatment, and it's one that fans haven't necessarily asked for, but do welcome with open arms. The story's about the pervy Ataru and this encounters with alien invaders known as Oni. Sent to represent humanity in a duel against the Oni, Ataru manages to win against the aliens' representatives Lum. However, victory turns into misfortune as Lum starts developing an attachment to our protagonist, deciding to move in with him. As if the consequences of his womanizing ways aren't bad enough, Ataru now must deal with this alien who can be more than a handful. Urusei Yatsura has been one of the more influential titles in the 80s, a trendsetter if you will, in the realm of anime tropes and fan service. I can only wonder how this will fare after being given the modern treatment. We won't have to wait too long to find out as it comes to us this fall.
ダーリン、うち一生離れないっちゃ。
Eminence in Shadow creeps in as the 8th entry on the list.
誰もが子供の頃にヒーローに憧れるようにそうなりたいと思った影の実力者に
We all have our moments of delusion. We imagine things and often bask ourselves in grandeur. However, some are more like Sid Gagano, preferring to be the type of character who plays a mastermind behind the shadows, the overlord behind the scenes, if you will. He gets his wish granted. After reincarnating, he takes the role of a mob character, recruiting a group of cute and badass girls into his organization, Shadow Garden. Together, they look to take down a mysterious cult born from his own imagination. Unfortunately, things may not be as smooth of a sailing as Sid imagined, and even more real and sinister threats lurk past the facade of the Diabolus cult. Shadow Garden versus the Diabolus cult. Who will prevail? Join Sid and his team in this anime that's not just your everyday power fantasy. Spy Family Part 2 is 7th on the list.
思い上がった西の豚どもに鉄よ
Just when you thought it was all over, Lloyd, Yor, and Anya are coming back to our screens to give us more of the crazy, funny, wholesome, and exciting. Now, that didn't take too long, but it's not surprising given the show's popularity and the stellar reception the fans have given it. Spy Family is easily a contender for one of the more popular anime this year, and those who've watched its first season can see why. It just brings with it such a fresh approach and feel for modern anime. Spy Family is one of those shows you turn on to unwind, and as far as the entertainment goes, it does the job super well. Memes galore and genuinely touching moments await those who watch the hottest show in 2022. Who's up for more Spy Family? I sure am, and it's going to be one of the top highlights of fall 2022. In the 6th slot, we have My Hero Academia's 6th season.
頂上解放戦線とヒーローたちとの全面戦争がついに始まる
It is all sheer coincidence, but one of the most popular shonen out there will be having its 6th season in the anime's 6th-year anniversary. 6 years is a lot, and fans have had their share of awesome action, thrilling revelations, and tear-jerking drama. And guess what? They'll be back for more. This season looks to wrap up the rise of Villain Saga in a big way. Being someone who's read the manga, let me tell you to gear up for the endgame. Nothing will be ever the same again once this arc is done, and I can only hope that the anime adaptation will do justice to this arc that leads us towards the final stretch of the manga. It's pretty much a shoo-in that we're getting a full adaptation at this point, so here's hoping for another amazing season as we head to the finish line. I'm seeing a full adaptation to be around 8 seasons, so there's that. And if you like what you've seen so far and haven't subscribed yet, help the channel out and hit that subscribe button up there. It doesn't take too long and it will do a lot in helping the channel grow. Oh, and you can like and share this video too.
世界一のエゴイストでなければ世界一のストライカーにはなれない。
We've seen all shades of sports anime, from the dramatic to the high-tension, action-packed blockbusters that have come to define the genre in the modern era. But I don't think we've seen anything as high-stakes as this. Frankly, I don't think the characters in-universe have either. Here, the most promising strikers in Japan get sent into Blue Lock, a prison-like facility where they do battle. The survivor earns a slot to be the national team striker. And as for the losers, they get banned from joining the team forever. However, such a high-stakes environment only brings out the best in the strongest players, and one such contender is Yoichi Isagi. Carrying a burden with him, he joins the Blue Lock project, staking his dreams, his desires, his everything in his dream to lead the Japanese team to eternal glory. This is looking to be a dark horse title this fall, and I'm excited to see how this one's going to turn out.
己のゴールを何よりの喜びとし、その瞬間のためだけに生きよ。それにストライカー。生き残るのは俺だ。
Up next, we have To Your Eternity's second season.
もう誰にも会わない。そう決心したんだ。
This came as a bit of a surprise when it was announced, honestly speaking. I sang a lot of praises for To Your Eternity when I was previewing and recapping it in my seasonal lists for 2021. However, I do admit that the show is quite niche. In spite of the good writing, it just doesn't have the elements for mass appeal to the mainstream audience, so I was surprised that they decided to give this one a second season. Not that I'm complaining though, because I actually really enjoy To Your Eternity. You just don't see supernatural drama like this anymore. Something that's more of a slow burn and is more introspective, for lack of a better term. It's quite creative in its approach, and while the show's at its strongest at the start, I still do have high hopes for season 2. There are still more people and places for Fushi to explore, and along with it, more faces of life that the creator can impart on us. After all, the season 2 arc starts off slow, but ends up being some of the best material that the manga has so far, and that alone makes me very excited for it.
不滅のあなたへシーズン2
As we enter our top 3, we get ourselves another season of Mob Psycho 100.
この街で僕だけが。
よく聞け。
Looking at Mob Psycho gives me the same sense of nostalgia My Hero Academia does. They aired alongside each other and have quickly built a legacy for themselves. Between the two, I do like Mob Psycho more, and it's largely due to the more focused scope and the themes that I feel resonate with me more. I'm also not a complete sucker for Sakuga, but Mob Psycho also boasts some of the most eye-popping fight scenes both in terms of animation and stakes. I really don't mind a third season of it after the amount of immersion and entertainment the first 2 seasons have given me. Having to contend with a lot of other big hits this season could do a number on Mob Psycho's popularity, but I'm sure that in terms of the actual content, we fans are not going to be disappointed. Studio Bones has always done a great job with the series, and I'm expecting an even better adaptation in this climactic season. Second spot belongs to a new face in town, Chainsaw Man. For months, people have raved about Chainsaw Man non-stop. The moment the anime got announced, it was all people could talk about. That makes it an automatic shoo-in for the second spot on this list now, doesn't it? After reading the manga though, it's easy to understand what the hype was all about. Despite being a jump series, Chainsaw Man pushes the boundary in terms of violence and themes. It's a very intense story that's earned its way to the hearts of many readers through its edginess and how unexpected everything is. From the subversion to the sheer magnitude of tragedy, Chainsaw Man is not your usual jump offering. The anime version reportedly will have no censoring, so that should be fun to watch. How will the whole of Chainsaw Man translate in anime format? There's only one way to find out. At number 1 is an old face making a long-awaited and triumphant return. It's Bleach.
行くぞ。世界の終わる9日間だ。
Much can be said about Bleach, and it's a series that's been as polarizing as its shonen contemporaries in the 2000s, but what can't be denied is its legacy and how it opened the gates to a lot of people to enjoy anime in the modern era. After the anime ended a decade ago, people have been clamoring for its return. Half a decade after its ending, the Bleach anime is coming back with a vengeance, giving us the final arc, 1000-Year Blood War. Finally, longtime fans will get to experience in anime form a lot of the key revelations in the series, such as Ichigo's origins, the backstory of the Quincy, and the highest stakes war the Shinigami must face so far. The excitement is off the roof for Bleach's grand finale, and we only have to wait a couple of months before the beginning of the end.
頼む。ソウルソサイティを守ってくれ。黒崎一護。
And that's it for this video. I'd love to know what your most anticipated title is. I'd love to hear from you, so head down to the comments section and make your voice heard. As always, like, subscribe and share. Our social media is also open with links in the description box. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all had a great time. I hope to see you again, but for now, I'll be taking my leave. So long till the next video.